Hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Empowering Finance Through Technology, where we simplify complex concepts in finance, data and analytics. In today's session, we are going to discuss an interesting and often confusing topic in DAX, the difference between values and distinct functions. If you ever worked with DAX in Power BI or Power Pivot, you have probably noticed that both of these functions seem to do the same thing. They return a list of unique values from a customer, but when you look deeper, especially when your data includes blank values or is connected through relationship, their behavior can be surprisingly different. The textbook usually tells us that values includes blanks, while distinct excludes blanks. But is that always true? No, not quite. And that is where we uncover in this video. We shall start with a simple example where both functions seem to give the same result, even when blank rows exist. Then we shall move to a more advanced example involving two related tables, one for sales, another for brands. Here you will see the real difference, how values respects relationship including blanks, while distinct ignores blanks that the system generated through missing relationship. By the end of this video, you shall clearly understand when values and distincts behave identically when they do not, how blanks are treated differently depending on data context, which functions to use in your DAX measures for accurate results. So stay tuned. This session will clear up one of the most misunderstood topics in DAX and help you to write more reliable calculations in Power BI and Excel.
Distinct versus values. In DAX, data analysis expressions, values and distinct are functions used to retrieve unique values from a column or table, but they serve slightly different purposes and have distinct behaviors. Here's a clear explanation of their differences. 1. Values. Purpose returns a single column table containing the unique values from a specified column, including a blank row if the column contains blank values. If the column is in a table with relationships, it respects those relationships. Behavior includes blank values if present in the result. Returns a table, single column table, not a list of values. Respects the current filter context unless modified by functions like all or except. If the column is part of a table with relationships, values considers valid rows based on those relationships, e.g., it excludes values that don't exist in the current data model context. Use case. Commonly used in calculations where you need a table of unique values to iterate over, e.g., with SUMX, AverageX, etc. Useful in scenarios where you need to respect relationships in the data model. Distinct. Purpose returns a single column table containing the unique values from a specified column or expression, excluding blank values by default. Behavior excludes blank values from the result unless explicitly included via a calculation or expression. Returns a table, single column table, similar to values. Does not consider relationships in the data model directly. It operates purely on the column or expression provided. Ignores the filter context for the column unless explicitly modified, e.g., using all or other filter functions. Use case. Useful when you need unique values without blanks or when working with expressions that generate values. Often used in scenarios where relationships are not a concern or when you want to explicitly ignore blanks. Difference between distinct and values given on the screen. Please note the first item blanks. It states for values, it includes blank values, while for distinct, it excludes blank values. However, the matter is not that simple. None of the textbooks explain it properly. Today I shall try to explain the difference between the two. The table contains several blanks in the brand column. We shall use both values and distinct function to understand the difference between the two. First, we shall create a measure using values. Click any cell below the thick line and type the formula as shown on the screen. Result is shown as 16, which comprises 15 brands and 4 blank columns considered as one item. We shall now create a measure using distinct. Click any cell below the thick line and type the formula as shown on the screen. Result again shown as 16, which comprises 15 brands and 4 blank columns considered as one item. Hence, we see there is no difference between values and distinct. In the textbooks, it is mentioned distinct ignores the blank. But to our surprise, we find that distinct is considering blank. Now, let me explain the reason behind it. On a standalone basis, if a table contains blank, Excel considers it as valid input. Hence, distinct takes the input of 4 blank rows and considers it as one input as unique values are considered. So you do not see any difference between values and distinct. What the textbook forget to mention that distinct only ignores blanks which are a result of an error. This I shall now explain. We have got 2 tables here. Table A has product and sales details. Table B lists products and brand details. You will notice that several products do not have brand name in Table B. If we join both the tables, there will be several products which will show blank in the brand column. If we use distinct, these blanks are ignored. We shall be using measure, which will unify both the tables. Such unified table will have blank rows. We created a measure using distinct to calculate the total sales value. The distinct should ignore the blank rows. We have also created a measure using values to calculate the total sales value. Value should include blank rows. Now we put to test by creating a pivot table. From the sales table, select product field. Go to band table and select band. Then go to sales table and select field sales value. Select both the distinct and value measure fields. Go to Pivot Table Options and click for Column Totals. Click OK. You shall observe total of sales values and sales values obtained by using values function are identical as they have considered blank columns in the band column. Now we shall filter out the blanks from the brand column. We find all the sales total are identical. This demonstrates that distinct ignores blanks if it generated by the system. If we remove the brand filter, the total sales obtained by using distinct remains the same, while the sales values using values got increased, as they're now considering the blank rows and band column in the computation. Is the list of my social media accounts. Feel free to connect with me. If you find the video useful to you, please click like. Subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get notification as soon a new video is uploaded. Feel free to leave your comments to improve my channel.